Mean describes someone who is unkind or cruel.
My coworker is a very mean person. He gets
Tolerate. To tolerate something means to be able to accept it even when it is unpleasant.
When you are in a hurry, it can be hard to tolerate traffic signals.
Hunger. Hunger is the feeling that you get when you need to eat.
Bulletin. A bulletin is a news report that talks about very recent. Deaf. When someone is deaf, they cannot hear.
Overcome. To overcome a problem is to successfully fix it. Inherit. To inherit is to get something from someone who has died.
Legitimate. If something is legitimate, then it is acceptable according to the law. Fable. A fable is a short story that teaches a lesson.
In the fable about the tortoise and the hare, the lesson is consistency.
Roof. A roof is the outside top part of a building.
The roof was covered with snow.
Reproductive. If something is reproductive, it has to do with a living thing producing young. Purse. A purse is a bag.
Lay. To lay means to put or place.
Portrait. A portrait is a painting or photograph of someone. Subsequent. If something is subsequent, then it comes after something else. Shame. Shame is a bad feeling about things you have done wrong. Fatal. If something is fatal, it causes death. Haste. Haste is speed in movement or action. Tragic. When something is tragic, it is connected with death and suffering. Disguise. A disguise is something you wear so people cannot tell who you are. Feast. A feast is a large meal for many people. Creep. To creep is to move quietly and slowly. Coal. Coal is a hard black rock.
Bet. To bet is to risk money on.
Rectify. To rectify something means to correct it. Contrary. If something is contrary to something else, it is the opposite. Herd. A herd is a large group of the same type of animals. Overnight. When something happens overnight, it happens during the night. Sheriff. A sheriff is a police officer. Veterinarian. A veterinarian is a doctor that takes care of animals. Tap. To tap something is to hit it lightly. Expertise. Expertise is the knowledge and skills to do something well. Stripe. A stripe is a thick line. Divorce. Divorce is an event in which a marriage is ended.
Steady. When someone or something is steady, they are under control.
Stiff. When something is stiff, it is hard to move. Trait. A trait is part of someone's personality.
One trait of Salvador's personality is his cheerfulness.
Absence. Absence is the state of something being away.
Amaze. To amaze someone is to surprise them very much.
Dose. A dose is a certain amount of medicine that you take at one time. Bizarre. When something is bizarre, it is very strange. Nowhere. You use nowhere to say that a place or thing does not exist. Explode. When something explodes, it blows up. Acquaint. To acquaint is to get to know something or someone. Convenience. Convenience is a state of being able to do something with little effort. Caution. Caution is care and attention in order to avoid danger. Vessel. A vessel is a large ship or boat.
We toured the area aboard a luxury vessel.
Celestial. If something is celestial, it is related to the sky or to outer space. Mercy. If you show mercy, you choose not to punish or harm someone. Infrastructure. An infrastructure is a collection of services needed to run a society or business. Fend. To fend off something means to push it away and avoid it.
Dave spent all night fending off bugs instead of sleeping.
Distress. Distress is the feeling of being upset or worried. Devoid. When something or someone is devoid of a thing, they are missing it.
The movie was devoid of any violence, so it was a perfect movie for the family.
Colonel. A colonel is a military officer. Corpse. A corpse is a dead body of a forage. To forage means to look around for food. Dusk. Dusk is the time in the evening when it begins to get dark. Tangle. A tangle is something or many things twisted together. Relativity. Relativity is a set of ideas about time and space developed by Albert Einstein. Courier. A courier is someone who takes and delivers mail or packages. Restate. To restate something means to say it again or in a different way. Indigenous. If something is indigenous, it is originally from or native to a place. Wary. If someone is wary, they are cautious or mistrusting. Proximity. Proximity is closeness in time, space, or relationships. Kettle. A kettle is a large metal pot used for boiling liquids or cooking food. Extinguish. To extinguish a fire means to make it stop. Grip. To grip something is to hold it very tightly. Hence. If something happens hence, then it happens as a result of something. Flint. Flint is a hard stone that people used to make weapons for hunting.
There are a lot of flint tools in the museum.
Barley. Barley is a grain that is used for animal feed, health food, and beer. Administrator. An administrator is a person who controls a business, company, or organization. Offense. An offense is behavior that is wrong or breaks a law. Cure. To cure means to cause an illness or injury to end or disappear.
My dentist cured me of my toothache.
Dung. Dung is solid waste material produced by animals. Shiver. A shiver is a shaking movement the body makes when someone is cold or scared. Resourceful. When someone is resourceful, they are good at dealing with hard situations. Parasite. A parasite is a tiny animal or plant that attaches to another animal to get food. Rod. A rod is a thin stick made of wood or metal. Moisture. Moisture is small drops of water in the air or on a surface. Crisis. A crisis is a situation that is extremely stressful or dangerous. Contagious. If a disease is contagious, it is easily carried from one person to another. Char. To char means to burn something so that it turns black. Harass. To harass someone means to annoy or trouble them. Discriminate. To discriminate means to judge people according to their looks. Surplus. A surplus is an extra amount of something. Corrupt. If someone is corrupt, they break the law. Physiology. Physiology is the study of the various parts of living things. Deformed. If something is deformed, it is not shaped normally and may appear ugly. Ashore. If something goes ashore, it goes from water to the land. Transaction. A transaction is an act of buying or selling something. Ensue. To ensue means to happen after something. Rally. A rally is a large public meeting in order to support something. Deprive. To deprive someone of something means to not let them have it. Dizzy. If someone is dizzy, then they feel off balance as if they will fall down. Fable. A fable is a short story that teaches a lesson.
Roof. A roof is the outside top part of a building.
Haste. Haste is speed in movement or action.
In order to get to the meeting in time, he proceeds with haste.
Repetitive. Haste. Creep. To creep is to move quietly and slowly. Wooded. If an area is wooded, it is covered with trees. Formation. A formation is the way that something is made. Strategy. A strategy is a plan presently. If something happens presently, it is happening right now.
Presently, our profits are good, but by next year, we can do even better.
Scribble. To scribble is to write something quickly, without caring about how it looks.
I scribbled a rough diagram of our plan and gave it to him.
Tap. To tap something is to hit it lightly.
He tapped the keys of the keyboard to write a short word.
Stripe. A stripe is a thick line.
The flag of the United States has red and white stripes.
Organism. An organism is a living thing, especially a very small one. Trait. A trait is part of someone's personality.
One trait of Salvador's personality is his cheerfulness.
Horrifying. If something is horrifying, it is frightening and very unpleasant. Distribute. To distribute something is to give it to a number of people.
The teacher distributed crayons and markers to his students.
Technician. A technician is a person who is skilled in electronic or mechanical work. Acquaint. To acquaint is to get to know something or someone. Incredulous. If someone is incredulous about something, they do not believe. Objective. An objective is a goal or comparative. If something is comparative, it is being judged based on something else. Oxygen. Oxygen is a gas. Capacity. The capacity of something is the amount of things that can be put in it. Exotic. Exotic describes something unusual because it is from far away.
Attract. To attract means to make a person or thing come closer.
Strap. A strap is a thin, long piece of fabric used to fasten, carry, or hold something. Equator. The equator is an imaginary line that splits the Earth into north and south.
Suggest. To suggest something means to give an idea or plan about it.
Plague. A plague is a serious disease that quickly spreads to many people. Distress. Distress is the feeling of being upset or worried. Tropics. The tropics are the areas of land and sea close to the equator. Repetitive. When something is repetitive, it is repeated many times and becomes boring. Devoid. When something or someone is devoid of a thing, they are missing it.
Judge. To judge something is to say if it is good or bad.
Define. To define means to clearly state, show, or explain what something is. Crucial. If something is crucial, it is extremely important to integrate. To integrate means to join. Tangle. A tangle is something or many things twisted together.
The laces of his shoes were in such a tangle that he could not untie them.
Courier. A courier is someone who takes and delivers mail or packages.
Before.
Restate. To restate something means to say it again or in a different way.
Mrs. Jones restated the test question to the class.
Comprehensive. If something is comprehensive, it has all the details about something else. Seldom. If something seldom happens, it doesn't happen very often. Nutrition. Nutrition is the process by which people use food to stay healthy.
Rest. To rest is to stop being active while.
Random. If something is random, it happens without any pattern or reason. Grip. To grip something is to hold it very tightly. Federal. If something is federal, it comes from the government of a country.
Proper. If something is proper, it is right. Bother. To bother is to make the effort to do something.
Expand. To expand is to become bigger in size. Beneficial. If something is beneficial, it is good for you. Promptly. If something happens promptly, it happens quickly or.
Celebrate. To celebrate is to do something to show that an event is special.
Rainforest. A rainforest is a forest that is in a place where it rains very often. Birthplace. A birthplace is a place where a person is born or where something started. Frequency. The frequency of something is the number of times that it happens.
The frequency.
Outright. When something is outright, it is open and direct.
Everyone knew that the boy's story was an outright lie.
Flint. Flint is a hard stone that people used to make weapons for hunting. Barley. Barley is a grain that is used for animal feed, health food, and beer.
The farmer.
Miniature. If something is miniature, it is very small. Paraphrase. To paraphrase is to make someone else's writing or speech shorter. Shiver. A shiver is a shaking movement the body makes when someone is cold or scared. Conserve. To conserve something is to protect it from being. Embassy. An embassy is where government officials work in a foreign country.
Occur. To occur means to happen.
Cumulative. Cumulative describes an increase by adding one after another. Perspire. To perspire means to sweat. Deposit. To deposit something is to put it into a place or another thing. Rod. A rod is a thin stick made of wood or metal. Ladder. Ladder describes something last in a series, or the second choice of two things.
In the latter minutes of the game, the visitors scored the winning goal.
Char. To char means to burn something so that it turns black. Snap. To snap something means to break it suddenly, which causes a loud noise. Sociology. Sociology is the study of human society. Considerate. When someone is considerate, they pay attention to the needs of others. Fleet. A fleet is a group of ships. Virtue. A virtue is a good quality or accountant. An accountant is a person whose job is to keep financial accounts. Tune. A tune is a song. Dip. To dip something is to put part of it into a liquid for a short time.
Laurel dipped her strawberry into the chocolate.
Ensue. To ensue means to happen after something.
After a few minutes of lightning, thunder ensued.
Rally. A rally is a large public meeting in order to support something. Dizzy. If someone is dizzy, then they feel off balance as if they will fall down.
The pregnant woman was dizzy after standing up too quickly.
Spade. A spade is a tool used for digging. Prairie. A prairie is a large, flat area of grassland. Couch. A couch is a long, soft seat that many people can sit on. Rugged. If an area of land is rugged, then it is rocky and difficult to travel through. Bay. A bay is an area near the ocean where the land goes inward. Coincide. If two things coincide, they happen at the same time. Suspicion. A suspicion is a feeling that something is possible.
Initial. When something is initial, it is the first thing.
The initial step when writing a paper is to find a good topic.
Haste. Haste is speed in movement or action.
In order to get to the meeting in time, he proceeds with haste.
Accommodate. To accommodate is to have enough room.
The meeting room can accommodate 9 people.
Aggressive. If someone is aggressive, then they constantly want to fight. Cube. A cube is a solid object with 6 square surfaces that spice. A spice is a flavor for food and drink. Scribble. To scribble is to write something quickly, without caring about.
Struggle. To struggle is to fight against someone or something.
Prehistoric. When something is prehistoric, it is from a time when there was no written history. Celsius. Celsius is a scale for measuring temperature. Bamboo. Bamboo is a hard plant. Benefactor. A benefactor is a person who gives money to help someone. Kidnap. To kidnap someone is to take them illegally.
She was terrified to find out her son was kidnapped.
Disadvantage. A disadvantage is a situation where someone is likely to lose.
Mike had a disadvantage in the race since he hurt his knee.
Bunch. A bunch is a group of the same things. Saturated. If something is saturated, it is completely wet. Specify. To specify is to describe something clearly. Habitat. A habitat is the natural home of animals or plants. Amnesty. Amnesty is a pardon given to prisoners of war. Refine. To refine something is to make it better by making changes.
The principal refined his method of controlling students over the years.
Coastline. A coastline is the outline of a country's coast. Publication. A publication is something printed, like a newspaper or book. Loose. When something is loose, it is not held in place well. Proponent.
Why else would she steal those manuals? I should be dragged into a field and shot for being so fucking stupid. What are you doing out there? What's that for? Clinging to life.
Haste. Haste is speed in movement or action.
She doesn't get to walk around thinking she got away with this.
For calming everyone down, but since you're not a Spanish tutor, just a lying creep who purposely upset everyone in an attempt to get with
It's and don't test her on that, because that thing about the jukebox was way too specific to be improvised. And
What's that for? She doesn't get to walk around thinking she got away with this. What's that for? She doesn't get to walk around thinking she got away with this. What's that for? She doesn't get to walk around thinking she got away with this. She doesn't get to walk around thinking she got away with this.